It's a serious issue. It particularly impacts the immigrant community in Queens because they end up not knowing the law or the legal system in America and end up needing cheap housing and moving into these illegal basement units.
Yeah.
And then it floods and like there's a lot of deaths that happen because of that. Also, they end up in housing court and don't know that they've been living in an illegal apartment for so long and have been paying rent for an illegal apartment. And also, I had a case, this was when I was in my clinic, where a guy called in, called our hotline, he was living in an illegal basement. It flooded, his landlord just changed the locks. And he just didn't know what to do. He called me from like a playground. And
So that's a good segue because what has the immigration crisis, how has that affected housing court because I know it implicates right to shelter, and implicates allows a lot of people coming to the city who don't know their housing rights. So what has been the effect in terms of you guys' jobs, in terms of dealing with maybe more of your clients are people who've recently immigrated to the city? What has been that effect?
It's bad. I was just talking about this earlier. I have this client who is in his 60s. He was undocumented immigrant working as a construction worker. He gets into housing court because he got sick, was out of work for a little bit. Turns out that his apartment should have been rent stabilized. We went through tons of litigation, discovery, depositions. We established that it should have been rent stabilized. However, during the course of the litigation, his arrears shot up to about $80,000. On top of that, he had to have both legs amputated. So he had no means of, getting any income. Because he was undocumented, he wasn't eligible for any benefits. And we won him a rent stabilized apartment, but he couldn't afford it.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a real big problem because there are folks who are undocumented, and one of the vouchers that a lot of us depend on, CityFHEPS, one of the means of achieving CityFHEPS is by getting into the shelter system, right? And even if we were to get them into the shelter system, right, they may still be barred because of their immigration status, right? So it's, in addition to that, the one-shots, you also, from my understanding, require some form of immigration status. I don't think you necessarily need to be a citizen, but you need to have some form of immigration status as well. So we can litigate non-payments, but at the end of the road, if we can't get the money, or if we can't find a voucher to get them housing somehow, then they're shit out of luck. As much as the most that we can do at that point is functionally buy them time.